to you a little bit about information medicine and energy medicine, which I can say is my ocean. I would like also to tell you that I feel so much inspired today by lectures of today, of yesterday, and I have a lot of me to metabolize. It's like I'm feeling full of emotions, thoughts, reflections, and one of them is that actually we are amazing creatures, fascinating creatures, which are all the time looking for the answers. Who are we actually? Who are we? It was, you know, it was the driving force for my existence since I remember. This question, this curiosity, which I think I share with you today. Who am I? The big question, why I'm here, what is this reality actually? If this, what I'm learning at school is real, or it's just on the surface some kind of, you know, knowledge for the mass. And it was the driving force for me actually to do what I'm doing today. My background, let's say traditional background, is psychosomatics and somatopsychology, but actually my heart, I would say, is energy and information medicine. And actually it was not that information and energy medicine was my background from ages, from the beginning. But on the other hand, I was blessed to have a grandma who was on one hand a medical doctor, and on the other hand she uses, you know, in Poland in 70s, homeopathy, herbs, acupressure, she practiced yoga, and each time when I was in her place, and it was very often because we were very close to each other, I had been talking with her about everything, about out of that experience, about everything what actually usually we don't talk with grandmas. And so it was, I can say, the seed for me which gave me also the I think the feeling that this is my reality. So it was for me normal, since I remember that we are not only matter, we are not only biochemical substances, we are much, much more than we think. What I want you to know, besides, I'm a mother of 2 wonderful kids, which I adore and which are my biggest teachers ever, but also a president of the board of the Polish Society for Information and Energy Medicine, and author of a book about energy medicine, where I invite people to perceive our multidimensionality. I created the Association for Energy and Information Medicine 4 years ago in Poland, and maybe that's why I really appreciate the job of Shima and of Beatrice, because I really know very well what does it mean to organize a conference, how much effort it is. And I made it actually 2020 to organize in Poznań, my city, in Poland, the first conference for information and energy medicine, international conference. And actually I continue doing that. Last year I had the honor and pleasure to have Professor Gerald Pollack in my place and Beatrice as speakers. People were, you can imagine, you know, thrilled and very inspired. And this year, in actually 20 days or a little bit more, in 3 weeks, I organized the next conference holistic conference, coherent together, for people who are working with devices, systems, which I work with. Can I have some water, please? Thank you. I want to start with a quote of Professor Włodzimierz Sedlak. I don't know if you know this guy. Someone heard about him? Oh. It's a pity, you know why? Because actually he is quoted worldwide because it's our Polish Tesla, I can say. Włodzimierz Sedlak is the father of Polish bioelectronics. He was also a Catholic priest and actually was born too early, I would say. He said one day that yes, life it's not so simple, and actually he had many tries, many let's say definitions of life, but he always said it's only a model, it's only trying to find the answer, but it's never the perfect answers because we don't have all dots we should connect. And he said once that living organism, living being is as a system, and it's a system composed of metabolism and electronic processes quantum mechanically coupled. This connection is the condition and expression of life. And we've heard today and yesterday that yes, life is not so simple. We are complex beings, and actually this electricity, which is a part actually of our life since the first let's say molecules of human being in belly of a mother, let's say, the electricity is accompanied us till the last breath we give. And here you have just a model, because before we start to talk about energy and information medicine, we have to realize that what actually I know you realized already after these 2 days very well, that we are multidimensional beings. And this multidimensionality is actually, I presume, much more complex than we actually now can imagine. That what we have now is that actually we can divide our levels, our dimensions in some 6 or 7 parts. The physical dimension, biochemical one, and energetical, but also emotional, mental, spiritual and informational one. And you know, when people are coming to my practice, to my office, sometimes I experience very funny stories because I remember once a guy which came to me, engineer, when I asked him about his spiritual life, because I analyzed also his not only biochemical level but also spiritual and energetical level. He said to me, you know, oh, don't bother, don't ask me about chakras, I don't have these. No, don't. And we have been laughing then after a few weeks because yes, he opened himself and tried to explore more and more this dimension who was completely hidden for him. So when we have the model and we see that we are absolutely multidimensional, we can say living matter, but also we can say that we are living energy or living system or a process, we need also an approach which will take care of us on each level. I always compare it to a house which we have. We cannot only clean the kitchen and the living room and hope that everything will be fine and the all other spaces which we actually think we don't need will not influence the living room and the kitchen. Or otherwise we can say, okay, even though when we clean all house, all rooms in the house, the kitchen, the bathroom, etc., imagine when we would have a very bad atmosphere and arrogance and anger and lack of communication. It would be as well not a home full of love and health. So we need to take care about ourselves on each level, not only this one who we feel comfortable with. And another characteristic of a living being, which I love very much because of my psychosomatics background, is perception. And perception, which is understood from the traditional point of view, like our mental process, is also, I don't know if you are aware of that, connected with water, because living organisms, not only human beings, but also animals and plants, are actually, because of the water inside, are able to perceive the reality in a little bit different way as we used to learn at school. And first of all, we should mention that besides the recognizing of environmental stimuli, we don't react on this stimuli, we respond. And there is a huge difference between these two words, respond and react. Because yes, each of us actually can see, hear, smell and taste the environment, let's say, in a completely different way. What makes us absolutely unique, but it's not about the human brain, which we know as from the classical point of view. The human brain with its neurons, it's not the main actor of the perceptive spectacle. Matter systems, what is very important to mention, become able to respond, not only react, because they are made of water. And it doesn't matter, dear ones, if we are talking about humans or we are talking about amoeba. We respond in dependence what meaning has one particular stimulus for not only survival, but let's say here, to make things simple, for survival of the coherent system that we are as a living organism made of water. And this meaning of a particular stimulus is based on a history on relationships of a living organism. To make it more understandable, I can tell you a little story from my childhood when my mom told me I've been with her in a park on a playground, and one day a boy came on the playground, and after 5 minutes of playing with me, he took a plastic toy and he just hit me on the head. And I was completely shocked. I didn't know what to do. But on the next day when we came there, I had already history of my relationship with this boy, and when he tried to do the same, I did like that. You can imagine what happened on the third day. I just hit back. Yeah. So this is the feature we have as living beings made of water, that not only our perception is based on our nervous system, it is based on water. We can say that the water in us cumulates the history and helps us to respond on the stimuli, so we can, like me in my childhood, also protect ourselves in this environment we are living. We also know, thanks Professor Gerald Pollack, that we are living matter in the sense of superstructured water-based matrix. I will not, Jerry, be talking about fourth state of water, because you did it much better than I can do. What is important to know that this water, as also Professor Marc-Henri mentioned today, is a base of our existence, and it plays also a tremendous role in information and energy medicine. It would be not appropriate to forget Professor Emilio del Giudice, who, beside the fourth state of water, is one of the most well-known scientists who were actually devoted his life to water coherence, to water domains, and thanks to him we really know a lot about water, what was actually not known in the 70s or 60s last century. So to make now some kind of summary, I can say that human beings are unique because our unique perception. We are coherent, mostly, sometimes not. We are self-regulating beings, and today I will not be talking about self-regulation rule, because it would take too much time. We are complex, and like Jelena said today, we are systems. We are dynamic quantum systems or processes, but we are also multidimensional and interconnected. So I can say that we are interconnected not only with ourselves, but also with our environment, because we exchange energy and information all the time. It's a process actually which lasts since we are here on the earth, and it's not only this exchange with that what we see, because as we could learn today, even though I presume more of you knew it before, that we only see a little spectrum of the big universe which is around us. So I can say that this exchange of energy and information, of course, it happens also on the levels which we are not aware of that they exist. And which challenges do we have in 21st century? Well, I think it's a very philosophical question, because of course I would not move to the medieval time as a woman, first of all, no, thank you very much. So I don't want to say that this time is particularly negative for humans, but we have many challenges which are actually not, let me find a word, challenges which are influences us and our biological structure in a very bad way. I'm talking now about our energetical level, which is influenced, but also biochemical, psychological and information level. We can look at our cars, which we drive, full of actually microprocessors inside, full of electricity, full of connection with internet. So it's not something that we experienced before. It's something completely new for us. And it's not easy, even though we are able actually to find a way as living beings to adapt. It's something completely new for us when we mention the fact that everything is changing very fast. So the speed of these stimuli, of these changes is tremendous. And my question is if we are able to adapt so fast. 5G technology is the next challenge we have. On one hand, we are sometimes very happy that we have connections and connection, and I can, observe when I'm going on my vacation that people get crazy when they realize in the room there is no Wi-Fi. Okay, but on the other hand, we all know, I think, what does make it this technology with our blood, with the water inside us, with our nervous system, with our immune system, with everything that is living being. And the question is what we can do with it. We have also things like chemitrials, which on one hand by let's say traditional science are seen, let's take like some kind of fairy tales. On the other hand, we can observe on our sky that something like this we never experienced before. Never in my childhood, maybe you remember, but I don't remember a sky like this, which can last 3, 4, 5 hours. Okay, it's not just it's not just because of a plane in the air. And now, yes, let's get to the subject. What is information medicine and energy medicine? I took here a short, very short actually, sentence of a good friend of mine, Hendrik Treugut, who is a founder of the German Association for Energy and Information Medicine. And he made a definition like that. Information medicine and energy medicine should be understood as an integral part of complementary and alternative medicine, which, based on a holistic view of human being, should be seen as a partner of conventional medicine, not its opposite. For me, it's very important to underline that even though it sometimes seems for us not possible to build a bridge. Let's build bridges. I think there are enough physicians like Beatrice Milbert, who is the perfect example that we can connect being a doctor, medical doctor on the one hand, and having enough, I would say, wisdom, consciousness, openness, courage as well, to practice a holistic medicine. I don't think that something can be positive from fighting all the time with the system, let's say. I would rather have the idea that we build bridges, that we try to communicate, that we try to organize conferences like this, and this is not only for us, it is for our children, for whole humanity, just to find common denominators which we have, because the information and energy medicine on one hand has a huge advantages, I would say, to support human being. But on the other hand, traditional medicine, academic medicine, when we look at the technology which is actually practiced now in clinics for supporting human being, it's also something incredibly positive for us. So the solution for me would be just to connect. And information medicine and energy medicine for me is a kind of synthesis. Synthesis on the one hand of ancient medicine, because the Chinese traditional medicine knew already thousands of years ago about existence of meridians, like Ayurvedic medicine about existence of chakras. Also, our Hippocrates, the father of academic medicine, traditional medicine, was aware, and he wrote many things. I would not say papers, because I think in ancient Greek we didn't call it papers, but there are many texts of Hippocrates where he mentioned the flow of energy. You can check a German doctor, Annie Berner-Hübin, who translated again the work of Hippocrates. I really recommend you to read it. On the other hand, we have new clinical science, but also scientific theories, technologies, concepts, like we've heard in today's lecture. But also information medicine and energy medicine is consciousness development, and kind of awareness that actually not the methodology is important. The most important thing is this awareness of interconnectedness, that the way I am with my patients, the quality of my being, of not only my being with myself, because it's the first step for each practitioner and each doctor to relationship with ourselves, but also the quality and also meaning of our presence with our patients is extremely important. This is what matters, actually. Not the way which device I use, which treatment I suggest, even though, yes, it has its relevance as well. But when I, listen to my friends or my patients when they are coming from a hospital from oncology, and they tell me about the kind of conversation with the doctor. Sometimes, you know, I'm really very close to tears because they tell me, you know, I felt judged, I felt absolutely misunderstood, I felt like, sorry for saying that, piece of shit. And it's I think the first mistake which is done is that people who are studying medicine are not having this support in the form of psychology, because as I know, still in our Western Europe, young students, medicine students, are studying only history of psychology and not actually the way how they can be with others, which is crucial. So for me, information and energy medicine is also this aspect, the most important one. And now we can divide, actually make some kind of division into energy medicine and information medicine. And energy medicine uses therapeutically specific resonance frequencies to communicate with the dynamic quantum system that is living being. And these biophysical frequencies are transmitted to humans via physical energetic carrier like sound, microcurrents, frequencies, electric fields, magnetic fields, light, and all types of electromagnetic fields like also bioenergotherapy, tuning fork, music, sound therapy, etc. On the other hand, information medicine is based on the concept of quantum physics and the existence of an information field, which I will be talking about a little bit later. It perceives a person as a whole, communicating with him on the basis of information patterns. And the focus is not on a specific disease or symptom, but on a person as a whole, whose body, by receiving therapeutic support, gains access to its natural mechanism of autoregulation. What we can understand as information medicine, homeopathy, first of all, I would say, as a oldest part of information medicine, but also information field optimization by a radionic device, for example, or human being, because we have also the possibility to connect with information field without any devices. Infoceuticals are also part of the information medicine, and various forms of non-local healing. And today we've heard already about a model of multidimensional reality. I don't know if you've heard about Burkhard Heim. Who've heard about Burkhard Heim? Okay. Burkhard Heim was a scientist who invented, together with Walter Dröscher, a 12-dimension theory, 12-dimension concept. Actually, at the beginning, he invented first 6-dimension concept, and then, thanks Walter Dröscher, he expanded his theory. And his 12-dimension theory is a unified and expanded quantum field theory, and represents actually the basis of quantum medicine, of information medicine and energy medicine. Before I show you the graphic of this theory, here I have a quote of Professor Elvin Laszlo, who is studying the information field, which is basic of the information medicine, since many years. He is actually one of the well-known researchers of information field, called also Akashic field in Europe. I can really recommend this book, Science and the Akashic Field. And he wrote once such sentences. Mystics have believed for millennia that there is an interconnected cosmic field as a basis of reality that stores and provides all informations. The discoveries of quantum physics proven that this information field, by ancient called Akasha, is real and has an equivalent in science known as the zero-point field, which is the basis of the universe. It is an ocean of energy and information from which all things are created. Atoms, galaxies, stars and planets, living beings and even consciousness. This field is the eternal and infinite memory of the universe. It contains everything that has happened and everything that will happen, and we have access to it. Who from you already explored information field, or with radionic device or by its own? Oh, great. So you know that it can be not something which is like a little bit of magic and science fiction. We have, all of us and each of you here in this room, access to the information field, and we actually communicate through the information field even though we are not aware about this. Because this communication is making possible that a mother, for example, whose son is in war as a soldier, suddenly feels that something happened and a glass falls down on the floor, and she just knows that her child is dead. The communication is known since ages, and actually now I'm very happy because more and more for example, Akashic readings are popular, so people learn how to get access to the information field without any devices. On the other hand, it is really a great support and help that we also have devices who makes us possible to connect with the information field, which I will show you a little bit later. Here you have this 12-dimension model of Burkhard Heim. I will not concentrate of it too much, but I wanted you to just to see that we have here 12 dimensions, and first 4 dimensions are these dimensions which are very known by us, and 3 dimensions and time. D5 and D6, it's the energetic controlled field, so let's say energy, and D7, D8, global information field. Up to 9th dimension till the 12th dimension, we have a field which he called consciousness. I was thinking today when I was listening to the lecture of Professor Marc where Burkhard Heim put entropy. I don't know, we can talk after the lecture about it, because it really made me think. Maybe maybe he just had the idea that information field and consciousness can be, I don't want to say enough, but maybe he didn't think about entropy in this dimension model. I have no idea. The possibility to connect with information field, what we have today, is thanks to the radionic devices. And here I want you to get to know, I want to present a radionic device which I'm learning with, which I'm working with since 2016. It's called TimeWaver Pro, and it makes possible the access to the information field. First of all, what I want you to know about TimeWaver is that it contains a hardware and software. And the hardware of this device consists a laser emitting photon beam, photon detector, and 2 white noise generators. It's very important to know when we want to explain the possibility of the connection with information field. Let me quote the inventor of TimeWaver Pro, Marcus Schmieke. Quantum photon oscillation processes are used as a potential way to access the individual information field. The solution we use involves the use of laser pulses that behave like a series of single photons. These pulses fall on a semi-transparent mirror at an angle of 45 degrees. These particles can then pass through the mirror or be reflected. The outcome depends solely on the quantum effect. In other words, it is random. According to Burkhardt-Heim theory, it is these seemingly random quantum leap that constitute information in its purest form. We assign the flow of information transmitted by light quanta to a specific object in order to reach the information field of that particular object. And the term object can refer not only to people, but also to animals, inanimate objects, and even abstract concepts such as company or organization. So, how does it work? Because it's important to say, I know it's technical, but if I would come to you and would say, oh, there's a device who can read your information field, I think it would not be enough. So a laser with a photon beam and a detector enables analysis at the quantum level. This is the so-called quantum effect, the influence of consciousness on matter. Therefore, is it so important to remember, and I always say to my students, because I also teach how to work with these devices, not only TimeWaver Pro, but also TimeWaver Frequency and McMakin, that these devices are extension actually of us. So we have to remember that responsibility is also in our field. The more connected we are, and the more with all our heart we are with our patient, the better the effect, the better the solution we can give to the patient. And on the other hand, we have white noise generators, which analyze the information in the energy space. It is this fifth and sixth dimension which Burkhardt mentions. How can I support people analyzing and optimizing information field? Well, I can do it on many levels: mental, spiritual, systemic level, psychological level, energetical level, material level, frequency level, also systemic level, family system I mean, and karmic level. And it looks like I have a huge databases which contains around 600,000 databases, and on the other hand I can scan my patient, and then thanks these quantum noise generators we compare it, and we have then the, let's say, the analysis which makes me possible then to look through many blockages actually of a human being, not only on the physical level but also on energetical level, emotional, and so on. The second device I work with is time wave frequency, and frequency therapy is something I absolutely adore. First of all, because it gives me the possibility to support people in a way that I really see the progress in a very little time. The main thing what I love about frequency therapy with time wave frequency is that time wave frequency and time wave frequency McMakin makes possible to keep the cell membrane potential on a level between 70 and 90 and 100 millivolts. We've heard already today, or I think also, yes, Jerry had it in his lecture, that when our cells have a correct electric charge, the natural self-regulation and self-healing can occur. But when does it not happen? We actually can be sure that many challenges will appear on a biological and physical level, first of all. And the decrease in cell membrane voltage causes imbalances in the body because of body acidification, abnormal nutrition, toxins, stress, trauma, but also energetical imbalances like electrosmoke or unhealthy perception, which is actually crucial because, as we know, thanks for instance Dr. Bruce Lipton, our perception can change really everything, also on cellular level. What has microcurrent frequency therapy in common with easy water? I think it is very possible, based both on the results of practical use of microcurrent frequencies and on the microcurrent frequencies research, and also on water research, that first of all, microcurrent frequencies may have a significant influence on creating easy water and living matter. And then, as a result of these processes, the cellular and mitochondrial membrane potentials can be improved. It is a hypothesis. It was not proven yet in any lab, but as far as we have been talking with Professor Jerry Pollack, it is possible. and it would be worth, I think, to be studied. It has also a common denominator with the idea that the bigger the electromagnetic coherence in the cell, the better the cell membrane voltage in a living organism. We are talking very often about biological terrain in our body, but actually it's not only biological terrain what we have talked about. Using microcurrent frequencies, we actually strive to create an ideal not only biological terrain but also vibrational terrain. It is important for us to know that the idea that we influence our vibrational terrain is actually connected with it if bacteria or other microorganisms which are not especially positive for us will stay in our environment or not. It's like a little bit, you know, with a party having in my home. If someone would come to my house and I will having a party and he would be oriented in the direction of aggression, I don't think he would stay in my house because he wouldn't feel the resonance with the people who are inside. And if we are able to influence our vibrational terrain in our body and to maintain our cell membrane potential on the healthy level, well, microorganisms who are not positive for us would not stop by. It makes sense for me very much. And the third approach, which I really adore, is the frequency-specific microcurrent of Dr. Caroline McMakin from States. She's actually one of my favorite teachers because she is able to share her knowledge in a very practical way and really from the heart. Frequency-specific microcurrent therapy is an approach when you have frequencies on two channels. That's why it's called very often dual wave therapy. And you have a channel A and channel B, and on each channel you put a specific frequency. What I mean saying specific? Well, this approach, that's why it's called specific microcurrent frequencies, because when you have a particular problem, particular challenge, for example, let's say fibromyalgia, and we know that fibromyalgia is inflammation of a spinal cord. When we take 40 Hz on channel A and 10 Hz on channel B, after 40 minutes or 50 at least, the patient with a pain level 8 on 10 will leave my office without pain at all. And this is something what was really groundbreaking in 1995 when Caroline McMakin called one professor in the United States who is specialist for interleukin-1, so inflammatory cytokines, and she told him, you know, I do frequency therapy, but I do it few months long, and actually I took blood of a patient with fibromyalgia before, and the level of interleukin-1 was 390, and then after the treatment it was 26, and the professor asked after how many months of treatment, and it was after 1 hour. So unfortunately I don't have more time to tell you more about this approach, but I really recommend you to study it. I will give you also at the end my mail and my telephone number, so you can contact me any time. Beatrice is looking at me with signs okay, and this lecture. So what I want to say at the end, dear ones, that a combination of technologies we have today and their professional use with our awareness of the flow of energy in the human body is a really huge opportunity for people in the 21st century. Now, like never before, we need this holistic support in order we can really meet challenges of this century. I wish to myself and to all of us that we will have the opportunity to meet in such conferences in whole of Europe. I hope that next time I will prepare less slides or have more time to talk. It's just, you know, I'm so fascinated by information and energy medicine that each time I make a presentation I want to share so much with you, and then I realize, oops, it's only 1 hour. So see you next time. Thank you so much, and if you have questions, please do.